Reincarnation fantasy anime hits different, dying once just to come back overpowered, surrounded by elves, demons, and sometimes clueless goddesses. Yeah, that's peak storytelling chaos. Today, we're ranking the top 10 reincarnation fantasy anime from 2010 to 2017. Buckle up. Kicking off with number 10, the world's finest assassin gets reincarnated in another world as an aristocrat. Alright, let's talk about a man who literally dies doing his job too well. Our boy was the world's greatest assassin, cold, efficient, and apparently allergic to retirement. But instead of getting eternal peace, a goddess snatches him mid-death like, "Congrats, you're getting an upgrade, fantasy edition." So he's reborn into a noble family and told to kill a hero destined to destroy the world. Talk about a stressful baby shower. This anime is clean with its storytelling, mixing politics, strategy, and some surprisingly smart takes on assassination in a magical world. Plus, Lug isn't your typical brain-dead protagonist. The man actually uses tactics instead of yelling "power of friendship" every 2 minutes. Still, it's not perfect. Sometimes it dips into cliché territory, especially with its harem moments. But overall, it's sleek, serious, and way more logical than your average reincarnation show. Think Hitman meets ReZero, but with better aim and less crying. Sliding to number 9, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Yes, my guy got isekai'd into a blob. Not a swordsman, not a demon lord, a literal blue jelly. But here's the thing, Rimuru Tempest makes being a slime look cool. This anime is pure, main character wins life after death energy. Rimuru goes from 0 to running an entire monster nation faster than your favourite shonen protagonist powers up mid-fight. And the world building? Fire. The diplomacy, monster politics, nation building, all of it feels grand, but easy to follow. It's like SimCity, but with swords, spells and dragons who need therapy. The comedy hits too, especially when Rimuru's just casually solving centuries of racial conflict, while also trying to figure out if slimes have genders. Yeah, it gets power scaled to ridiculous levels, but that's part of the fun. You're not here for tension. You're here to see a literal slime dunk on ancient dragons. It's smooth, it's funny, and it's one of the most chill reincarnation anime ever made. Landing on number 8, ReZero, Starting Life in Another World. Oh boy, Subaru, my guy has suffered more deaths than most anime villains combined. ReZero took the reincarnation trope, sprinkled it with psychological horror and said, yeah, let's traumatize everyone. Subaru dies, he revives, he dies again. Repeat until depression unlocks. But that's what makes it a masterpiece. It's not just about reincarnation, it's about the mental toll of endless suffering. Subaru starts as your typical cocky anime fanboy, but gets broken down, rebuilt, and actually grows. The man earns every victory through pain, fear, and sheer stubbornness. Also, shout out to Rem, the blue-haired goddess who carried Subaru's sanity more than plot armor ever did. And let's not forget Emilia. She's the emotional center that keeps the story grounded. The soundtrack? Absolute chills. The pacing? Brutal, but that's part of the charm. ReZero proves reincarnation isn't just fun and games, it's trauma with magical flavoring. Looking at number 7, No Game, No Life. Now this one isn't exactly your typical reincarnation, but let's be honest, getting dropped into a world where everything's decided by games? That's fantasy rebirth enough. Sora and Shiro are shut-in siblings who get teleported into a world where even gods can't cheat, supposedly. These two geniuses turn every situation into a brain-flexing spectacle. It's not about brute strength, it's about outsmarting everyone with galaxy-level IQ. The art style? Straight eye candy, glowing colours, wild designs, and so much visual sugar you'll need a dentist. But under all that style is sharp humour and chaotic sibling energy. Their relationship is equal parts wholesome and unhinged. Like 1 minute they're conquering kingdoms, next minute they're arguing about whose turn it is to hold the controller. The only problem? We never got season 2, which should honestly be a war crime. Still, No Game, No Life defined a generation of fans who believed that being a gamer could literally save the world. Peak nerd fantasy, no notes. Rolling into number 6, the Saga of Tanya the Evil. What happens when a ruthless salaryman insults God? He gets reincarnated as a little blonde girl with military PTSD. Yup, Tanya de Gurachav is the reincarnation of a modern-day off-office worker thrown into a war-torn magical Europe. And she's terrifying. This anime is pure chaos, wrapped in a war epic. Tanya treats faith like a corporate scam, strategy like spreadsheets, and war like office politics. She doesn't fight for justice. She fights to climb ranks, survive, and prove to being X, aka God, that she doesn't need divine help. The irony? The more she resists, the more powerful she becomes. Saga of Tanya the Evil nails the anti-hero reborn concept perfectly. It's brutal, thought-provoking, and kind of hilarious watching soldiers take orders from a 10-year-old demon in uniform. If reincarnation was a punishment, Tanya's case file would be Exhibit A. Coming at number 5, the rising of the shield hero. Naofumi's reincarnation, or rather summoning, story hits deep. One moment he's reading a book, next he's framed, betrayed, and left to rot. But instead of giving up, my guy builds himself from the ground up, literally from broke to boss. What makes Shield Hero stand out is its emotional grit. You actually feel Naofumi's anger, distrust, and slow road to redemption. He doesn't get flashy weapons or a cheering squad, just a shield, a raccoon girl, and a whole lot of trauma. The show balances revenge, loyalty, and growth in a way that's both dark and satisfying. Sure, it dips into harem territory later, but that first season? Peak underdog energy. The animation during those big fights when Naofumi activates that rage shield, absolute chills. It's not just an isekai, it's a comeback story for the betrayed. Sliding to number 4, KonoSuba, God's blessing on this wonderful world. You ever die in the dumbest way possible? Yeah, Kazuma did. And his reward is getting reincarnated with a useless goddess, an explosion addict, and a masochistic knight. KonoSuba is chaos, pure, hilarious chaos. This anime flips every reincarnation trope upside down. Instead of a power fantasy, we get a comedy disaster party where everything that can go wrong does. Kazuma's the most relatable protagonist, lazy, sarcastic, and constantly questioning his life choices. Aqua, beautiful but brainless. Megumin, 1 explosion per day, no refunds. Darkness? Well, let's just say she enjoys pain way too much. But that's why it works. It doesn't take itself seriously. Every episode is a meme factory, slapstick humor, perfect timing, and surprisingly good character chemistry. KonoSuba proves reincarnation doesn't always mean glory. Sometimes it means poverty and chaos, and we love it that way. Moving to number 3, Overlord. When the game shuts down and you're the only player left logged in, that's when the real adventure starts. Overlord is what every MMORPG gamer secretly dreams about, staying in the game forever, but as the boss villain. Ain's Owul Gaon is an undead overlord with god-tier power and zero social life. Watching him try to act like a calm leader while internally panicking is comedy gold. His NPC servants treat him like a divine being, and he's just like, yeah, totally planned that. What makes Overlord stand out is the balance between humour and dark fantasy. It's cool, strategic, and visually stunning, but it also pokes fun at its own genre. The world building is massive, the characters are eccentric, and every episode keeps you guessing whether Ains is a genius or just lucky. Spoiler, it's both. This show made being overpowered fun again, and that's rare. Dropping in at number 2, Log Horizon. If Overlord is about dominance, Log Horizon is about diplomacy. When players get stuck inside an MMORPG, instead of panicking, Shiro decides to fix society. Because apparently, reincarnation comes with tax laws now. This anime is the thinking man's isekai. No flashy sword fights every episode, just strategy, alliances, and the kind of political drama that makes you question your guild loyalty. It's slower paced but incredibly satisfying. Shiro's intelligence and leadership make him one of the best non-flashy protagonists ever. And the social commentary? Underrated. It digs into what happens after the fantasy begins. How do you live, adapt, and build meaning in a world that shouldn't exist? That's deep stuff. Sure, it's not as flashy as SAO or Overlord, but Log Horizon's world building is unmatched. It's reincarnation with a purpose. Rebuild, reform, and maybe, just maybe, find a home in your second life. Finally, number 1, the devil is a part-timer. The ultimate twist, a demon lord gets reincarnated into a broke part-timer at a fast food joint. From world domination to flipping burgers, that's what I call divine comedy. Sadao Mao's fall from terror to minimum wage is legendary. This show blends supernatural action with hilarious everyday struggles, rent, bills, customer service. It's literally Satan versus capitalism. What makes it so great is how grounded it feels despite the fantasy setting. You'll laugh watching Mao adapt to normal life while still flexing like he's the king of darkness. The character interactions? Gold. Emi's tsundere rage, Ashia's housewife energy. It's a perfectly chaotic balance. The humor lands every time, and when it shifts into serious mode, it still hits hard. The Devil is a part-timer, redefined reincarnation comedy, proving that sometimes your second life isn't about saving the world. It's about surviving your shift at MG Ronald's. And that wraps up our top 10 reincarnation fantasy anime from 2010 to 2017. Whether you love overpowered heroes or hilarious rebirth fails, this list proves death's just the start of good storytelling. So which reincarnation world would you want to wake up in? Drop a comment, hit like and subscribe. Your next life depends on it.